Congressman Clyburn, Jim Clyburn of South Carolina, um, within the last 2 days, he's trashed the opportunity zones and he's trashed the reparations. He's been a congressman from South Carolina for over 20 years. I don't know what he's done. I'm certain he's done something, but he's gotten reparations wrong. He's from the state of South Carolina where the 40 acres and a mule, I think it's Field Order 21 issued by General Sherman in the 1860s, about 1863, 64, therein, where blacks were to be given land and the means to take care of themselves. And of course, this was rescinded, but it's still a great idea. Clyburn, no disrespect, but he's cooned himself out of the job. And a whole lot of black members of Congress and state houses and other places are going to find themselves retired. You know, Clyburn will turn 79 years old in July. He's had a good run. He needs to take his old ideas and anti-black attitude and so forth and go home. And his daughter shouldn't replace him in Congress. We need people who can think, who are imaginative, who give a damn about black people. Clyburn's had his time. So has John Lewis. A whole bunch of them. They're in their late 70s, if not early 80s. And they're useless. These baby boomers, they've betrayed us. They've enriched themselves. They've stabbed us in the back. They had 8 years of Obama to do something for us and delivered nothing. And to attack the opportunity zones. Why? Is it because the Republicans proposed it? And then you're against reparations because the black masses want it, and yet you have nothing that you're offering, Clyburn. You know, a lot of folks say you look like Uncle Ben's, but I bet you Uncle Ben had a lot more dignity. At least he could deliver rice consistently. As a politician, you should be offering solutions. You should be implementing policies that help black people. You know, Dylan Roth shot up the people in your state of South Carolina, I believe your congressional district. Um, how do y'all forgive people for mass murder? Hey, how you doing? How do you forgive people for mass murder in South Carolina? And blacks are expected to forgive folks who came in. Dylan Roth came in and just shot up all these other people with whoever helped him do it. And that's fresh. That happened 2015 in May. Why not reparations? Reparations isn't just a check. There are a whole lot of what reparations would include is the means for mass media, mass re-education of blacks, whites, and the others and everybody here. Clyburn, you are really the thing that gets me is that you're supporting the Equality Act that will effectively be a reparations act for uh, LGBTQ, pedophiles, necrophiliacs, all these sexuality people. You support open borders, which is reparations for people from other countries, but you don't support it for black people who voted for you. You're a joke, my friend. You're a pathetic joke. And John Lewis and Maxine Waters, everybody that has a voice in our community needs to demand that forgive me, these House niggers in the Congressional Black Caucus sign on for reparations or get voted out. I'm sick of them. They're disgusting. They never stand up or do anything that we want. Clyburn, he never really did anything when blacks were being killed when Obama was president. But in fact, he kisses Nancy Pelosi's behind. She's against reparations, so I guess he's against it. I bet you if Nancy Pelosi were for reparations, Clyburn would be for it. We don't need coons. We need leadership. Elected politicians can take a stand on controversial issues. Look at this newcomer, Ilhan Omar. may not agree with everything that she says or does, but she stands her ground for what she believes in. What does Clyburn believe in? What does I'm sorry, what does Maxine Waters or John Lewis or any of these people really believe in? They're just putting us on. We really should get sick of these people. We should get done with them. Nobody should like them. Uh, and we should reject them. They have no business in public life, especially after they've spent so many years and they don't have anything distinguished that they can say about themselves. In fact, Clyburn, why don't you ever run for the Senate? Is it because you're afraid to go up against somebody white and lose? I mean, there are a lot of questions I could ask. You know, I'm just angry about this reparations thing. I'm angry about you saying no to the opportunity zones. You say no to two ideas, but don't offer your own. Is it because you don't have your own ideas, or because you need someone white to pat you on the behind and tell you what is fair or what is right to think about that would benefit Black people? Welcome to reality, Clyburn and others. I'm not a millennial. The millennials are even angrier, and they don't care. They're not into you got gray hair, you're old, and you're supposed to be respected. They're having none of it. You wouldn't listen to people my age. We couldn't convince you or get your attention because you're used to that old Depression era stuff where people have to wait for you to die to want something. That's gone. Get a grip, brother. Get a grip. All the old Black folks, Bobby Rush, all you coons in Congress that are Black, that you fight for the illegals, you fight for Zionists, you fight for the LGBTQ, you fight for everything but Black people. You want to compensate and restore Jews over in Israel. You want to do stuff for the Native Americans. It's just nothing for the Black Americans, the people who've been here for hundreds of years. And Clyburn, being from the Deep South, I mean, shame on you. You know how backward things are in South Carolina. And trust me, there are a lot of people that don't like you. Okay. And a whole lot of these old line Black Democrats that are just nothing but slaves with jobs. People aren't liking you. They're not feeling you. They don't care anymore. They're going to come after you. It's just nothing to respect. I'm reluctant to say something about certain people, but it you seem to be excited to attack reparations. The only thing ridiculous about reparations is the very people who've experienced Jim Crow segregation abuse like you have don't have the courage to tell white folks that you want a check, you want justice, you want to be repaired, you want your people to be repaired. You're 79 years old. You could die tomorrow. What have you stood up for? When I look at you and I hear how you've run away from the issue of reparations, I no longer wonder why white men felt so comfortable calling Black men of your generation boy. Maybe they had a point. I'm out. Okay, peace. You have a good night too. See you, my friend. Good night. Good night, everybody.